Good day, leaders. I'm Dr. Sujay Walia, and welcome to part 3 of our series. In our last in our first video, we spoke about what is our dream. So we have that dream now, right? Check. In our last video, we spoke about, building our self-confidence and that inner talk that we have with ourselves. So now we're all pumped up and we're self-confident. Check. So I guess the question we're asking ourselves now is, why is success not rolling in? Why I'm not feeling this outpouring of abundance and I'm having all my dreams realized? Why is this not all happening? Well, if you think about it, if success were automatic, wouldn't we all be successful? Wouldn't everybody have success in their life? Success is not automatic. You have to work for it. You have to put in some effort. So I want you to think about your brain as a computer. I'm sure you've heard this before, but I'm going to use an iPhone. So think about your brain, your mind as an iPhone, as a computer, as a processor. So when you get your phone, your technicians, they would have already pre-programmed it so that it would run efficiently and at an optimal speed, right? Well, what are some of the things that could slow down your processor and cause it to not perform at its optimal level? So if we use my phone, for example, let's see what my phone says. Files. So my phone currently has over 11,500 files and over 2,000 videos. I suppose that explains why when it's backing up, it takes like a day. And when I want to do something, I have to first delete some photos, delete some videos before I can do another video. And the reason that is because I've taken up all the space and the files are just things that are there that I no longer need, that are not of value to me, that I haven't gotten around to deleting. Let me give you another example of that. Maybe you can't see my screen, that's okay. But see all these photos? That was from a shoot I did yesterday. Now I only needed one of those photos. And yet there are at least 30 or 40 still on my phone. Files are the things that slow down your speed and your performance and allows you to not be pursuing your goal and focusing on your goal and going in the direction that you want to go. It's anything extra that's in your life that is taking you away from your goal and from singularly focusing on that. So what is an example of some of the things that we do that are our files? Busy work. Busy work is an example. Busy work are things that take a lot of time and don't really add any value to you. So for example, you have this report that is neither urgent nor important, but you spend all this time doing it to just kind of occupy yourself, almost as a way to avoid focusing and doing the thing that actually moves you ahead. Busy work. And another thing about our files is that maybe we have files that are useful and that we really do need, but they're not categorized and they're not organized in any systematic way. So what does that leave us with? We don't know what we have and we don't know where to find it. How is that helpful? How does that get us to our goal and further along on our path? So we need to do a little bit of what North Americans in particular do every spring. Spring cleaning. And in spring cleaning, what they do is they go through their whole house and they do detailed cleaning. And the things that they no longer need, they get rid of it. And by doing that, they make room for improvement and space to learn and space to grow and space to breathe in their house. So we want to do that. Not just with our physical environment, but with our mind. We want to declutter our space and we want to declutter our mind. I want you to think of all these 11,500 photos and 2,000 videos and whatever it is for you in your life as obstacles in an obstacle course. So let us say your goal is here and this is you here, and you have to maneuver through these obstacles to get to the goal. But it could be something even worse. You're on your way and then suddenly this garbage truck overtakes you and then it just dumps everything right there in front of you. Now you're like, ugh, you don't even want to touch some of those things, right? but you need to clear them away if you want to move towards that goal. True or true, right? So we want to declutter, to clear that space. So how do we do that? First, we edit, then we categorize. So edit, what is edit? Well, we have to think about the things that we want to keep. But I think in our case, we want to think about the things that we want to delete, because we probably want to keep everything. That's why we still have it, right? So we have to think about what are those things that are unnecessary, that don't add any value, that we really, really don't need to keep, really don't need to have them around. They're not moving us in the direction that we need to go. Let me give you a practical example of what something like that could look like in your life. I had to detox myself from Facebook. Yes, I'm back on Facebook now, but there was a time when I literally only went on once a year to say, hello, everybody. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. And then I was gone. And why did I take that drastic decision? Because I found that I spent so much time watching other people's lives and not living my own life. I would go on to check one thing, and then the next thing I know, 3 hours later, time is gone and I'm just coming off, and all I'm doing is reading about what other people are doing in their lives. How does that help me to move forward with my life? So that's one example. Another example would be some of the social groups you're in on WhatsApp, for example. The ping, 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 constant pinging of the phone. It's so incredibly distracting. You want to pull yourself out of the groups where there is no value. Or we could do the next thing where maybe there is value and you don't want to get rid of it. But you know, when you're shopping and you don't want to pay for something right now, you put it in the saved for later file. You want to do something like that. You want to go put some of these things in save for later, where you say, okay, between the hours of 12 and 1, I'm going to respond to WhatsApp. I'm going to check whatever social media messages I have to check, and boom, that's it. Not a minute before, not a minute after. So it could be something like that, right? Or you could, if it's an actual physical thing, you move it to an external drive, to somewhere later. Now, finally, so we've deleted, we've moved some things to the external drive, and now what we have? We have what we want to keep, the things that we need. Now, in that physical space where you think and where you process and where you focus on your goal, and in your mind, you want to keep only the things that are necessary, only the things that you need, right? So it's one thing to have those things, but you also want to categorize them. And the reason you want to categorize them is so that you can retrieve them quickly when you need them. You're not still searching. I know I have this. Where did I put it? Oh my God, I want to. So you want to think about that. You want to retrieve it. So we now know that files slow down our speed and our performance. What's something else on our phone that would slow down our speed and our performance? A bug, a virus, right? A virus slows down your speed and your performance. So what is that virus? That virus is that distraction. It is that thing that either steers you in the wrong direction, or it pulls you in so many different directions that you're frozen. How many of us have had our computer freeze on us, right? We know about that. And then we have to power it down and reboot it, and fingers crossed, hope it comes back. Or worse yet, it crashes altogether and everything is lost. Well, I hope that has never happened to you, because that is a most unpleasant experience. I haven't had an actual computer crash, but I've had so many external drives crash that it is just heartbreaking when you lose all of that. So in our brain, we have to think about the fact that the brain is there to protect us. That is what it does. It protects us, and it wants you to focus on one thing and to do that thing well. So when you're pulling it to try and do thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, thing 4, and you're pulling it in all different directions, do you know what your brain does? This is a bit of neuroscience for some of you. Neuroscience. What does your brain do? Your brain says, stop. And now you're stuck. You're frozen. You don't know what to do. Then the brain says, you need to pick one or we're not moving. And that's where some of us are. We're in that stuck phase and we haven't made a move forward. So you need to decide, what is it that you're going to do? What is it? You need to pick that path and you need to move forward. one thing. Because when you're trying to do thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, thing 4, maybe you're a superstar. I like to think that I can multitask. But we really know in the world of science that the brain can't do a million things at once. What it does is bounce from one thing to the other thing really quickly. And so it feels like you're doing more than one thing at once, but you're not really. And it would be so much better, and you would achieve so much more, and you would move so much faster if you actually focused on that one thing and did it well and get what you need, get where you needed to go, and then do the next thing. So let's recap. We want to declutter. We want to clear away the files and keep only what we need. And we want to debug. We want to pick one path. We want to focus on that one thing, and we want to move in that direction. So you know I like to give you work, right? Because I believe in taking action. So here is your exercise. I want you to think about what is the smallest thing, the teeniest, tiniest, smallest act that you could do today, that one thing that would move you closer to your goal. What is that thing? I want you to write that down. And when you have written that down, I want you to do one more thing for me. I want you to complete that thing by the end of the day. Now, I'm not there to hold you accountable, but you are there to hold yourself accountable. And we spoke about self-talk and all the negative things that we say to ourselves. Well, if you've committed to doing something and you don't actually follow through and do that thing, what's the conversation that you think you're going to be having with yourself? It's not going to be a good conversation. Now you're going to be reiterating, oh, I'm a failure, oh, I'm not good enough, and all the other negative things that you've said about yourself before. So I want you to be accountable to yourself. I want you to do the things that you say you're going to do, that one teeny tiny small thing that will move you in the direction of your goal. And in doing that one teeny tiny small thing, you will get to the point where you start to stack. And if we do that every day, you stack all these good things. Remember, we spoke about stacking. So we are wrapping up this session now, and I want you to imagine you had clarity about what your dream is. What would that mean to you? What would it mean to you if you knew exactly what you wanted, was as clear as a picture? What would that mean to you? And if you believed in yourself and your capacity to do whatever it is that you want to do, and that you deserve to get whatever you want, what would you accomplish? How far would you go? And how would you feel? How would it make you feel to know that you are able to do the things you want to do, and you deserve to get the things that you want to get? And if you remove the mental roadblocks and the physical, all the things that are stacked up around you, and you had that space to think, to breathe, to be, to do. If you put on your blinkers, the horses, they have the blinkers, which allows you to focus, and you zero in and focus singularly on your goal. How much faster do you think you would get to that goal? And how quickly would it be in your grasp that you could just reach it and touch it? What would that be worth to you? How much would that be worth to you? Those are my thoughts. Those are the things I want to leave you with, for you to think about, because perhaps you are like me and other people have dreams for you that just don't resonate in your heart. You want to follow your dream, your goals, your passion. You want to pursue them. You want to go after them. And you want the tools that will empower you and embolden you to take action and to move step by step towards those goals. And when you see that finish line, to power through it. If that is you, then tomorrow I'm going to be talking about actions that you can take. Because so far in video 1, video 2, and today, we've been taking baby steps. But remember in video 1, I said, sometimes you have to be like other persons and bungee jump. Well, we want to do a massive leap of faith. And tomorrow I want to talk about taking that massive action. So we've taken the baby steps. What is that massive action that we could take to get to the next level? So until next time, from us at the Influence Hub to your unlimited possibilities. Goodbye.